Fixing your trading psychology isn't complicated. If you gave me 7 days to fix my psychology again, this is the exact roadmap that I would use. Not new strategies, not more indicators. Because the problem isn't what you know, the problem is who you become when you start to trade. So day one starts here. The first thing, stop overtrading. Because most of you don't even realize how much damage you're actually doing when you overtrade. It is literally one of the key causes of why your accounts are getting destroyed. And I get it. You feel like you need to be in the market more to earn more money because that's how we're wired. The more work we put in, the more money we get back. But that's not the case. When you're overtrading, the more trades you're making, the more capital you have at risk. So doing this is where everything starts to go wrong. You stop doing this, this is where everything starts to go wrong. And I honestly used to overtrade like crazy. It was one of the biggest issues that I had with my trading. And I managed to get out of overtrading. It can be as simple as just having a rule of 1 trade per day. If you just take 1 trade per day, your setup's going to be better, stops overtrading, and it stops revenge trading. However, you will only be able to stick to this rule if you have discipline, if you can actually control yourself to not trade again. If you're trading futures prop firms, you can lock yourself out really easily after the first trade. You can even set a limit right now. So when you do start trading and you do get emotional, that limit kicks in after 1 trade. If you're trading on MetaTrader, then it is more down to you, but you need to have that power to walk away because that is the first step. First step is to stop overtrading, and you need to do everything you can to stop this from happening. For your first 1 to 2 days, you just want to make sure you can take that 1 trade per day. You can stop overtrading. If you can say to yourself, right, on Monday and on Tuesday, I took 1 trade per day, I didn't overtrade, perfect. We can now move on to the next stage. And that's controlling your risk. You need to have a fixed risk, literally no exceptions. You don't want to size up and you don't want to size down. You want to have a level which you're comfortable with taking. So for every trade, you need to think to yourself, right, I'm going to risk 0.5%. That might be $500 as a loss. So if a trade loses, that's how much you're happy to lose. But you need to mentally prepare yourself for that loss. So when that loss does come, or if it comes, you can sit there and be like, okay, no problem. That was part of my plan, and walk away and that be it. But if your risk is too much, then you're going to be like, oh crap, I've just lost this amount of money. I need to make it back as quickly as possible. If you do that, then you'll end up revenge trading. You'll put another trade in to try and make that money back. You might even risk a little bit more to make that money back even quicker. And if you risk too little, you're going to sit there and think, was that it? Like, no, I want more money. So then you'll place another trade, and those trades with slightly low risk start to add up. This was something really difficult for me to get out of especially when I was trading prop firms. I used to risk really heavily. I used to be really heavy on my risk. I just kept losing and losing and losing. And I knew my strategy was right. I back tested it. I've demo traded it. I've live traded it. But on prop firms, I just couldn't do it. And that was purely because I was risking too much. As soon as I had to halve my risk, I started passing 2x prop firms. I literally got that data. So having a controlled risk, and if it's too high, lowering it. If it's too low, slightly hiring it, you'll be able to get payouts easier, get decent income, not blow the accounts, and not get absolutely nowhere. So have a predefined risk before every trading day, every trading week, and every trading month. This should stay exactly the same. And if you link it to your overtrading rule, where you're probably taking 1 trade per day, you know, if you're risking, say, $500 a day, you're taking 1 trade per day, you know you're risking 2.5K a week if you trade every single day. And you need to be comfortable with that. So day 1 and 2, you stopped overtrading. On day 3, you finally got a predefined risk that you can follow. Plus, you're still not overtrading. So now you move on to day 4 and 5. And this is the part which is going to take the longest and the hardest amount of pressure and brain work to make it work for you. And that is emotional awareness. This is where you need to know exactly when the emotions are going to turn up to make you break your rules. You need to know the emotional trigger points. If you don't know these, the emotional trading where you break your rules will always creep up on you, no matter how many rules you write down and what you check off your list before you trade. If you don't know these emotional trigger points, all this work will literally be for nothing. So you need to go through, okay, right, if I'm emotional outside of trading, say my girlfriend broke up with me, am I now going to be emotional in trading? If you are, simple, you don't trade. If you have a certain feeling which only comes before you overtrade or revenge trade or take a loss, that's another trigger point. That could be something where, okay, when I get this feeling, something bad usually happens here. So I'm going to step away from the charts. I'm not going to trade that day. Or it could be after a big win. You get a bit egotistical, you end up placing more trades because you think you're on a winning streak. They end up losing, you lose all your profit. After a big win, if you know that ego takes over, again, you don't trade until that ego has gone. And same with a loss. If you feel the need to revenge trade or overtrade after a loss, okay, a loss is now a trigger point. So what do we do once that trigger point hits? We have an action plan. That action plan is literally lock yourself out, stop trading, take 1, 2, 3 days off, depending on you, how long it takes you to get back to your normal level. So the timing will all depend on you. For me, it could be like 1 to 2 days. For other people, it could be a week. For some people, it literally could be a month. But you need to know exactly how long it takes you to get over the high emotions and you can get back to your normal state. And you need to know exactly where these trigger points are happening so you can get out early. It's literally like having a trading strategy, but for your mind. It's like a confluence. If you see one of these things happening, you know, right, I'm going to step away now because it could lead to X being a blown account. And this was honestly one of the most important parts that I implemented into my own trading. Knowing my emotional trigger points, I can literally sit there hours before trading and know that I'll probably break my rules that day and I can step away from the charts. I don't trade that day. And that has probably saved me from so many bad trades. And yes, you can sit there and say, yeah, but you might have won a few trades as well. So you've left money on the table. But I don't count my profits. I just want to protect the capital that I have. And that's how you guys should be thinking as well. So now we're on day 5. You've stopped over trading. You know your risk and you know your emotional trigger points. This is the part that is going to carry this on throughout your whole trading career. And that's journaling properly. So that's, yes, journaling your P&L, journaling your trades, but also tracking your behavior. So before every trading session, you need to write how you feel that morning, if anything has happened, if any triggers have happened, how you feel during the trade, and how you feel after the trade, and what you do after the trade to make sure you don't overtrade, up your risk, revenge trade. So you have a whole data log of your trades, of course, and your emotions and your behavior. So you know exactly how to grow and what's stopping you from growing. If you don't have this, you're just going in blind. So most of you will already have a journal for tracking your P&L. You might write it in your notes. It might be built into your broker, but you don't have a journal for your emotions, an in-depth journal for your emotions. And if you can, link it to your trading plan. So make sure you're trading now your P&L, you're tracking your plan if you're following your rules, and if you're tracking your behavior. And you need to go over this at the end of every trading week, the end of every trading month. And you need to go through, right, what's the issue here? How can I improve? Because with trading, you're always trying to improve every single day. You don't get to a certain level and stop. And that's it. You just make money like that. It's always get 1% better every single day. But if you don't have any notes or any explanations on how to get that 1% better, you're just going to stay stuck. If you want something laid out for you already, I have built a trading plan builder, which connects to my trading journal that I also built for myself. That is now available for you guys to use. So if you click the link in my description, you can build a trading plan. You can track your trades plus your emotions. It'll see if you're breaking any of your trading plan rules. And there's an AI coach on there as well to help you guys out. So if you want access to that, click the link in my description so you can start tracking your behavior and your trades properly. So now you're at day 7. You have stopped over trading. You know exactly what your risk is, and you know that every time you trade, you stick to that risk. You also know your emotional trigger points. You know how to control your emotions, or you know when to walk away. And you can journal your trades properly and you can track your behavior properly, so you know exactly what needs improving. Now, just after 1 week, I promise you, you will see a difference. It might not be a major difference, but it will be a positive difference you will see in your trading. You do this over a month, you'll see a bigger difference. You do this over a year, you'll see a huge difference within your trading. And I'm not just saying that because I think it will work. I'm saying that because it's exactly what I did to turn profitable. So it might seem like a little bit of work for you guys to do, but if you want trading to work, if you want to have that lifestyle where you can earn from anywhere in the world and where you can earn decent amounts, you're going to have to put some work in. And not a new strategy, not a new indicator, but fixing yourself. And if you feel like you need even more help with your trading psychology, risk management, and discipline, I have a completely free Telegram group for you guys to join. Again, click the link in the description, and I hope to see you guys on that Telegram group. So if you like this video, please feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow in the next video.